Very good evening to all the NEET aspirants. This is your Prasanna ma'am from NEET World. So yes, we have done with the chapter Morphology of flowering plants, and today it's time for us to solve NEET PYQs on morphology, and then we will move to anatomy of flowering plants. Look at the first question, ma. First question.
Option 1 answer.
Clear? Which of the following is showing zygomorphic flower? Which of the following is an example of zygomorphic flower? Pea, bean, cassia and gulmohar are the examples, right, if I am not wrong? Yes, and these are the examples of what? Which flower? What type of flower?
Actinomorphic.
Very good, actinomorphic flower.
Chili is Solanaceae.
Good, chili is Solanaceae member. Next, second question, ma. Online students also can answer. Both are incorrect. Look to it and answer properly. This is the symbol. Now you answer.
First one is wrong, second one is correct.
Yes. How? In statement 1 in a floral formula, this stands for what? Actinomorphic, not zygomorphic. For zygomorphic, what is the symbol beta? This is the symbol. Okay. And in statement 2 in a floral formula, this stands for what? Actinomorphic nature of flower, and G, this stands for what? Superior ovary. Okay. Statement 1 is incorrect and 2 is correct. Option 2 is the right answer. Okay. Next question, ma. Match list 1 and list 2. I said you on cohesion and adhesion and on floral characters only you will get more questions. See. Huh? Monodalphous condition you will observe in. Monodalphous condition you will observe in. Monodalphous. Should I revise this once again or what? Look at here. Andrecium.
China rose Paul. Yes. China rose monodalphous.
Monodalphous, you are saying it as China rose. Okay. Diadalphous.
P.
Okay. Polyadalphous.
Citrus, epiphyllus, lily.
Good. Okay. Amongst this, which is showing cohesion and which is showing adhesion? Stamens forming into a bunch, uniting amongst themselves, that is cohesion. Monodalphous into one bunch, diadalphous two bunch, polyadalphous many bunches. As such, epiphyllus means andrecium binding to what? Perianth. That is adhesion.
China rose has on stamen different.
Yeah, that condition is there, but it is having one bunch, right? Monodalphous condition. It exhibits both, but it is not exhibiting epiphyllus condition, no? Here for epiphyllus, what is the answer? What is meant by epiphyllus?
That perianth and
Andrecium are united. Good, right? So here epiphyllus condition is shown by what? Lily. Liliaceae family. So what is the right answer over here, beta? 3. A4, B2, C1 and D3. Okay. No point of revising this, right? You remember this already? Yeah, good. Next.
perigynous.
Yeah. Both the diagrams directly from NCERT, both are perigynous. Just by identifying that other floral parts are at the rim of the thalamus and ovary is half inferior, half superior, you can answer this. Option 1. Next question, Anna. Which of the following is an example of actinomorphic flower? Datura. Good. Next. Quick. This is in connection with sexual reproduction of flowering plants.
Option D.
Option?
Both are true and R is correct.
A flower is defined as modified shoot wherein the shoot apical meristem changes to floral meristem. How is it changing? Internode of the shoot get condensed to produce different floral appendages laterally on the successive nodes instead of leaves. So it is the correct explanation, no? What is the right answer? 4. Next.
Family, Fabaceae.
Of course, Fabaceae and Liliaceae are not there in the updated syllabus, but then you do this question, it helps you out to identify the answers easily, to analyze in between the options. Huh?
Diadelphous and diathecous anther.
Dithecous anther, very good. Fabaceae is having what? Diadelphous and dithecous anther, which is not present in Solanaceae and Liliaceae. Solanaceae has epipetalous anther, and Liliaceae has what type of stem? Andrecium epiphyllous. Good.
Yes. Which of the following shows maxillary activation and diadelphous
Pisum sativum. Okay. Aram se think and answer. Don't hurry up. Sit stably first. Cool, think and answer. Yeah, next question.
Zygomorphic flowers. D and E.
Very good, Abdul. Very good. It is B and C. Okay, the flowers are zygomorphic. Zygomorphic flowers are shown in Cassia and Gilmore. So you have seen these many previous year questions. All the questions are from floral characteristics and families. That is the thing I told you. One question in NEET 2025 on vegetative characters. Answer.
A is wrong. B is correct, E is correct. B, D, E are correct.
Look into it and answer properly, Kunal. There is no point in rushing out with a question.
C, D correct. C, D correct.
Where are your running notes and pen? In air station you are doing work, huh? Take down your running notes and pen. Kunal, take down running notes and pen. No problem, take down. Now we answer.
C, option C.
B, C, D and E. Option C is the right answer, right? Yes? Next question.
Diadelphous stamens are found in tree, Fabaceae.
Good. This one?
Fabaceae is zygomorphic, so A is 3.
Good.
So first option.
Look into the other floral formulae also.
Option.
Look into the other floral formulae also. Not every question will be same, no Kunal. Look into the other questions also.
C is Liliaceae.
Yeah. Next.
C is Liliaceae, not B.
Okay. Next.
B is Solanaceae.
B is Solanaceae. Good, Abdul. Next.
Remaining Brassicaceae.
What is the right answer, Nana? Okay. Next. This one.
Dry flowers have inferior ovary.
Good. This question.
The roots that emerge from the base of fibrous roots.
Very good. Next question.
Floral parts of thermals, adaptation of floral parts of thalamus and muscular glands.
Think and answer.
Mustard from marginal presentation.
It is the question is on position of flower. Think and answer. Tell me the answer, ma.
B.
Correct position of floral parts over thalamus in mustard plant. Mustard plant, what, based on the position of floral parts, we have three types of flowers. What are they? Hypogynous, perigynous, epigynous. Okay. Mustard plant is having what type of ovary? Superior ovary. Superior ovary means?
Hypogynous.
Yeah, superior ovary means what type of flower? Hypogynous flower. Hypogynous
Means
because
flower
other
parts are
floral
below
parts
it.
are below. Yeah.
A.
Right? Look into it and answer properly. Gynoecium occupies the highest position while other floral parts are situated below it. So, the answer will be option B, not A. Understood? Simple question only. I don't know where you got confused. Questions will be asked this. How then you are not explaining it properly?
I told superior ovary.
Sit properly.
Identify the correct features of mango and coconut. Both are true. Endocarp.
Tell me the right answer. Look into all options and tell me the right answer. Hmm? 1, 3 and 4. Okay, 1, 3 and 4. See, identify the correct features of mango and coconut fruits. Mango and coconut both are what type of fleshy fruits? Drupe type of fleshy fruits. Endocarp is edible in both? No, endocarp is stony in mango. Next, mesocarp in coconut is fibrous, mango it is fleshy. Next, in both, fruit develops from monocarpillary ovary. Correct, right? They develop from monocarpillary ovary. So, the answer will be 1, 3 and 4. Yeah. Now, we will start anatomy. Just give me a second, I will download the PDF and then we will start. So, anatomy of flowering plants whose weightage in the NEET examination will be 3 questions for sure at least. 2 to 3 questions, 3 questions for sure. Okay. So, how you have to learn this chapter? This chapter can be fragmented into tissues, tissue systems, and comparative analysis between dicot and monocot, root, stem and leaves. Of course, secondary growth is eliminated. Okay, so you can expect definitely 2 questions though for sure, ma. 2 to 3. Okay, tissues, we have 2 types of tissues. Now we will learn the classification of tissues: meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Again, in permanent tissues we have simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. We have to learn 3 tissue systems beta. 3 tissue systems, that is epidermal tissue system, epidermal tissue system. Second is ground tissue system, ground tissue system, and third is vascular tissue system, vascular tissue system. Dicot and monocot, root, stem, leaf, internal anatomy will be comparatively studied. Okay. So, these are the 3 fragments that you have to go through this chapter. When you go through any chapter, by splitting it into fragments, that will be easy for you. Okay. And easily you can distribute the level of questionnaires also, like how many questionnaires have appeared in your previous year papers. Like that you have to plan up and go through each concept. Kunal, listening? Yes? Now we will exercise with the tissues. We will start up with tissues. So, what are tissues? How you can define a tissue as? First, what is anatomy? Studying of internal structure, any internal structure of an organism is called as anatomy. Plant anatomy, studying the internal structure of plants. You can define a tissue as group of cells with common origin, common function, but structurally they can be similar or dissimilar. Okay. Tissues are what? Take down. Group of cells with common function and origin. Common function and origin. They can be structurally similar or dissimilar. Structurally similar or dissimilar. Clear ma? Now you look into the classification of tissues. Classification of tissues. Yeah. First, tissues primarily based on the capacity of division. If the cells present in a tissue are continuously dividing, division is the only activity they have, they are classified into what? Meristematic tissues. The cells will divide continuously. Okay? Those cells which get differentiated, forming up what tissues? Permanent tissues. Cells differentiate. Okay? Meristematic tissues again based on their origin. Okay? Based on their origin, they are classified into primary meristems and secondary meristems. Secondary meristems are also called as lateral meristems. Okay? Primary meristems again based on position. They are classified into apical meristems and intercalary meristems. Okay? Secondary or lateral meristems based on their location again, if it is present in the vascular bundles, it is called as what beta? Vascular cambium. If it is present in the cortex tissues, it is called as cork cambium. Vascular cambium if intravesicular and intervesicular. So, if you have to take a dicot vascular bundle like this, stellar region in a dicot stem. Okay. So, xylem will always be close to the pith beta. Okay. Xylem is close to the pith and this is phloem, right. So, in between xylem and phloem, you have what? Cambium. Listen first. If it is in between xylem and phloem, this is intravesicular cambium. If it is in between two vascular bundles, this is intervesicular cambium. Okay, and this is intravesicular cambium. Clear? Intra and intervesicular cambium. And here you see permanent tissues. Permanent tissues, if a same type of cells are differentiating, then those are simple permanent tissues. Group of different cells are differentiating, forming into a complex tissue, that is called as complex permanent tissues. Here cells will be same, here cells will be different. For example, parenchymatous cells form what? Parenchyma, collenchymatous cells and sclerenchymatous cells. Here cell type is same. Okay. Those are simple permanent tissues. Complex permanent tissues, if you take xylem and phloem, xylem has 4 different tissues. What are they? Xylem, tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. Okay, phloem you take again. Phloem is also having 4 different types of cells. No, first is what? Sieve tube cells. Take down parallelly. Companion cells. Phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. Okay, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. This is the basic classification of tissues. First into meristematic and permanent. Meristematic based on their origin, they are classified into primary and secondary. Meristematic again based on the position into apical and intercalary. Secondary based on their location, vascular and cork. based on in between xylem and phloem or in between two vascular bundles, it is intrafascicular and interfascicular. Permanent tissues, simple and complex permanent tissues. Simple, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Complex permanent tissues, xylem and phloem, and these are 4 different types of tissues. Yes, xylem parenchyma and phloem parenchyma are living. Companion cells living, rest all are dead. Tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, sieve tube cells, phloem parenchyma, dead cells. Okay. Any other questions, Nana? I will give you 2 minutes of time. Take this classification. Quick. ఎట్లా లివింగ్ రా న్యూక్లియస్ లేకుండా
అంటే ఫ్లోఎంలో ఒక్కటే నాన్ లివింగ్ మిగతావన్నీ లివింగ్ ఉంటే xylemలో ఒక్కటే లివింగ్ మిగతావన్నీ నాన్
ఎట్లా నాకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయరు
ఏమో నాకు ఎప్పుడో చదువుకున్నాను.
రైట్ ఇట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ టు మీ టుమారో రైట్ ఇట్ Done ma? Next you see the characteristic features of a meristematic tissue. Characteristic features of meristematic tissue. First is ability to grow and divide continuously. These are small immature cells. They are isodiametric, means you can divide it into 2 equal halves. Okay, they are isodiametric, rounded, oval or polygonal, and absence of intercellular spaces. Cells are very closely packed, there are no intercellular spaces between them, and walls are thin, elastic, and they are made up of what? Cellulose. Cell walls are thin and elastic, made up of cellulose. Nucleus is conspicuous. It has conspicuous nucleus with dense cytoplasm. Vacuoles are totally absent or very small, and as they are continuously dividing, their rate of respiration will be high. These are the characteristic features of meristematic tissues. Just read it once and fix it in your mind. Okay. Characteristic features are what? High rate of respiration because of continuous division, vacuoles may be absent or small, no intercellular spaces, cell wall will be thin and elastic, okay, so that they can divide easily. There are no cell wall depositions like lignin and suberin depositions will not be there, and they do not have intercellular spaces. Nucleus is conspicuous, cytoplasm is dense. Clear, right ma? Next. These diagrams are very important. Okay, one is showing what? Root apical meristem, and second is shoot apical meristem. Here the meristematic region in the root apical meristem, if you see, it is in the subapical region. Okay, subapical region.
Below root cap.
Yeah, below subapical region above the root cap. At the root cap is at the apex. Root cap is at apex. In the subapical region you have root apical meristem. Above and below the root apical meristem you have initials of central cylinder and cortex. Okay, above and below the root apical meristem you have initials of what? Central cylinder and cortex, which is maturing to central cylinder at the center, okay, and cortex at the periphery. Okay, and this is outerly covered by what? Protoderm. This is covered by protoderm. Clear, right ma? Any doubt anywhere? No, right? Yeah. Next, here you see shoot apical meristem. Shoot apical meristem is present at the apical region. Okay, this is present at apical region. It has in very close proximity with the shoot apical meristem you have what? Leaf primordia. This leaf primordia will mature to leaf. Okay, and at the axial position means at this position. This is the axial position. At the axial position you have what? Axillary bud. This axillary bud can turn into a shoot or a branch. This axillary bud can turn into a flower or a floral bud. This can turn into a thorn. or a tendril. Remember, in stem modifications, which part is modifying? Auxiliary bud is modifying. It can modify to thorn or tendril, it can turn into a floral bud, or it can turn into a branch, or it can also turn into a leaf. These are the possibilities that auxiliary bud can mature into, okay. And at the center you have what ma? Differentiating vascular tissue, okay. Nowhere you will get a clear explanation of root apical meristem and shoot apical meristem. If you understand this clearly, then tissue systems will be easy for you. Clear? Any doubt anywhere? Diagram is clear to you know. If you have NCERT, take a note then and there. Root apical meristem is present at the subapical region, shoot apical meristem at the apical region. Turn out the pages in front. Okay. I think that is new NCERT, right? Next, apical meristem, you have root and shoot apical meristem, you know that. So, root and shoot apical meristem, they promote mainly, they increase the length of the plant. Increase the length of the plant. Next, intercalary meristem, okay. Intercalary meristem is present in between two nodes. Intercalary meristem is present in between two nodes. At what region? At internodal region. Main function of intercalary meristem is to increase the length of the plant, promotes elongation. Whenever the apical parts are removed in few plants like grasses, this intercalary meristem will rejuvenate the growth of the plant, okay. Intercalary meristems will rejuvenate the growth of the plant. Are you taking down or not? And increase in girth of the plant is only observed by the activity of secondary meristems, not primary meristems. Primary meristems are purely involved in what? Increasing in the length of the plant, that is promoting the elongation, okay. One more peculiar function of intercalary meristem is what? Whenever the apical regions are cut off or removed by grazing herbivores, the growth of the plant is rejuvenated again back by intercalary meristems. Clear, right? What is the exact location of intercalary meristem? Present in between two nodes in the internodal region. Clear? Next. Yeah, secondary meristem. Secondary meristem is also called as what ma? Lateral meristem. Secondary meristem is also called as lateral meristem, because it appears in the later part of plant life. The ultimate purpose of secondary or lateral meristem is to increase the girth of the plant. Girth of the plant. Fine. So, here you see lateral meristems, as we have discussed, we have two types, right. One is vascular cambium and the second is cork cambium. Cork cambium is present in the cortex region, which helps in the increase in the girth in the cortex region. Vascular cambium will increase the girth in the stellar region. So, vascular cambium will promote stellar secondary growth. Important terms, take down. Vascular cambium promotes stellar secondary growth, okay. Cork cambium promotes extrastellar secondary growth. Clear? Any doubts anywhere, ma? Fine, right? Yeah. Now we will get into permanent tissues. Permanent tissues, as we have discussed, they are of how many types, ma? What are they? Yeah, simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Okay, simple permanent tissues we have three types. One is parenchyma. Good. Parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Complex permanent tissues? Yeah, xylem and phloem. Xylem is having 4 different types of tissues. What are they? Tracheids.
Vessels, fibers, parenchyma.
Very good. Xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. Phloem has 4 different type of tissues. What are they?
Companion cells.
Companion cells.
Phloem fibers.
Hmm.
Phloem parenchyma.
Okay. Next. So, simple permanent tissues. First we will start with parenchyma. Look into the general characteristic features of parenchyma. Firstly, all the cells are isodiametric, similar in their diameter. They may be of different shapes, spherical, oval, round, polygonal or elongated in the shape. Their walls are thin cell walls are present, made up of only cellulose. Okay. Most of the plant body is occupied with parenchyma. Parenchyma is abundantly present in the plant body. Okay. And they may be either closely packed or they can have small intercellular spaces. Okay. Internally, each cell has very long vacuole, long central vacuole and peripherally placed cytoplasm containing a small nucleus. Okay. They have, each cell has what? Large central vacuole, peripheral cytoplasm with a small nucleus. Clear, right? Yeah. Next you see types of parenchyma. We have different types of parenchyma. First is chlorenchyma. Good. Chlorenchyma is the parenchyma which is having what? Chloroplast in it and conducts photosynthesis. And here you see aerenchyma. Aerenchyma. Aerenchyma is the type of parenchyma which has air sacs that promotes buoyancy, and this is present in the hydrophytes. What is the major activity, ma? Promotes buoyancy. Okay. Next, storage parenchyma, which stores food. Storage parenchyma. Clear, right? Next, functions of parenchyma. This stores food, provides turgidity to the softer parts, protection in the form of epidermis. Even epidermis is composed of what? Parenchyma only. Formation of water absorbing epiblema. Epiblema is the epidermis of root. Root absorbs water. There also what tissue is present? Parenchyma. Lateral conduction in the form of xylem and phloem. Vascular bundles composed of parenchyma. Photosynthesis in the form of chlorenchyma. Buoyancy in the form of aerenchyma. Have you observed the diverse functions of parenchyma? Plant body is abundantly composed of what type of tissue?
Parenchymatous tissue.
Good. Next is collenchyma. Here if you see structure, cells may be oval, spherical, polygonal and they contain chloroplast also. Here also those collenchymatous tissue which has chloroplast is chlorenchyma. They are found either as homogeneous layer or in the form of patches. Cells have depositions like cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin, whereas parenchymatous cells have only cellulose. Does it have any extra depositions? No. And the cells of collenchyma are thickened at the corners because of these depositions. These cells assimilate the food they contain chloroplast. Intercellular spaces are absent in the collenchyma, whereas in parenchyma intercellular spaces are present.
Small intercellular spaces.
Good. Next, if you see the functions of collenchyma, they provide mechanical support, to the growing parts of the plant, especially to the young stem and the petiole of the leaf. Okay, because petiole of the leaf will hold the leaf, right. So, it maintains that flexibility of the petiole. Which tissue is maintaining that? Collenchyma. Next, it provides flexibility to the organs and allows it for bending. Okay. It prevents the tearing of the leaves because these cells are tough and thick because of their depositions. Yes, it helps in the growth and elongation of the organs. And then is sclerenchyma. The tissue occurs in hypodermis, vascular region, cortex, stem and leaves. Structure over here, if you see, sclerenchyma contains long and narrow cells. Okay. Thick and lignified cell walls are present, thick and lignified cell walls with few or numerous pit regions. They are usually dead and without protoplast. Without protoplast means they does not have a nucleus, cytoplasm and cell membrane. Okay. So, here if you see two types of sclerenchymatous tissues are present, one is fiber and second is scleroid. In fiber you have a very narrow lumen, in scleroid it is very much narrow, you will call it as what? Obliterated lumen. Obliterated lumen, very narrow lumen is present. Okay. And the cell wall is thick with what depositions? Lignin. Here also cell wall is very thick with lignin. Okay. Here you can see pits. Clear with fibers and scleroids, beta? Yeah. This is the comparative analysis between fibers and scleroids. Here you look into the shape. Okay. First here fibers are elongated with thick walled and pointed ends are present. Scleroid spherical, oval and cylindrical. Cell condition both are dead cells. Lumen, narrow lumen in fibers, very narrow lumen in the scleroids. Occurrence if you see in groups in various parts of the plant, you can observe fibers like xylem fibers and phloem fibers. These scleroids are scattered in a specific parts. You can see scleroids are present or found in the nuts of the fruit walls, in guava, pear and sapota, pulp of guava, pear and sapota, seed coats of legumes and tea leaves. This is very important, n number of times asked in your NEET PYQs. Where is scleroid actually present? Where is it present, Nana? Nuts, fruit walls of nuts, pulp of guava, pear and sapota. Because of that only you can feel that brittle nature of these fruits, and then seed coat of legumes and then tea leaves. Okay. Functions if you see, mechanical support, here both it gives hardness and mechanical support. Examples here you see commercial fibers like jute, flax and hemp. Functions, sclerenchyma provides mechanical support to the organs, scleroids will provide strength to the seed coverings, scleroids form stony endocarp of many fruits like stone fruits, example almond. Okay. Yes. Complex permanent tissues, what? Xylem and phloem. This diagram itself will tell you, see ma. At the center here you can see what? Tracheids. Followed by here perforation plates you can observe, right? Vessels. These are xylem fibers. Xylem fibers followed by xylem parenchyma. Okay. Each xylem tissue at the center will have all these 4 tissues. Okay. Next phloem. Here you can see these are the sieve tube cells. Okay. Sieve tube cells. Sieve tube cells are enucleated, they does not have nucleus. They are closely associated with what? Companion cells. Sieve tubes and companion cells are called as sister cells because they are ontogenetically related. Okay. Sieve tubes, companion cells followed by dead cells. What are they? Phloem fibers and living tissue, that is phloem parenchyma. Noting down or not? Huh? This you will not see in the NCERT, but then important. Look into the features of each type of tissue in the xylem. Xylem first is what? It is having tracheids. Tracheids, how you can describe them? They are elongated with tube like cells, thick and lignified at the ends or the walls. They have wide lumen with the tapering ends. They are dead without protoplasm. Okay. Thick walls with variable inner thickenings are present, and they are present in all vascular plants including gymnosperms. See, xylem tissues or phloem tissues presence or absence in different divisions of plant kingdom important. You will get connecting questions in between anatomy and plant kingdom when vascular bundles presence or absence is asked. Okay. See, vessels. Vessels are long cylindrical tube like structures. They are made up of many cells. Vessel members. Each cell is lignified with large central cavity. Again, the vessel cells are also devoid of protoplasm. Vessel members are interconnected through perforations in their common walls. Here you can see the perforation plates. Okay, whereas tracheids will have what? Pits. Vessels will have what? Perforation plates. Like this they will be connected, two vessels. Next, the presence of vessels are characteristic features of angiosperms. Vessels are absent in gymnosperms. And in pteridophytes only tracheids are present. Important beta. Clear? Next you see xylem fibers. They are highly thickened cells. Xylem fibers are highly thickened cells, dead cells with thick walls and obliterated lumen, means very narrow lumen, and they may be septate or aseptate. Xylem fibers can be septate or aseptate. They provide primarily what? Mechanical strength, and they are present in all the vascular plants. Okay. Xylem parenchyma, if you see, xylem parenchyma is the only living component of xylem. Thin walled living cells, they are, cell walls are made up of what? Cellulose. They store starch, fats and tannins. Ray parenchyma will conduct radial conduction of water, and they will store food, and radial conduction of water is done. Present in all the vascular plants. Xylem parenchyma is present in all the vascular plants. Vessels are present only in the angiosperms, advanced division of plant kingdom. Next, here you see xylem and phloem. Exist in two conditions, exarch and endarch. Exarch in root. See, the primary xylem is called as what? Protoxylem. First formed xylem or primary xylem is called as what, ma? Matured xylem or later formed is what? Metaxylem. So, if the first formed xylem or protoxylem is at the periphery and metaxylem is at the center, okay, this is the stellar region, okay, protoxylem is at the periphery, metaxylem is at the center close to the pith, then what is it called as? Exarch type of xylem, observed in what? Roots, okay, protoxylem is towards periphery here in the exarch xylem. If you take in stem, what happens is protoxylem, the first formed xylem is at the center and maturation takes place towards the periphery, okay. Metaxylem is at the periphery, protoxylem is towards the center. In stem, okay, metaxylem is towards the periphery. Here maturation taking place from periphery to the center, here from the center to periphery. This is centrifugal. This is centripetal. Exarch mode of xylem maturation is centripetal. Clear? Any doubt anywhere? Clear, right? Phloem, you see, ma. It is a complex permanent tissue. It is composed of how many types of tissues? Sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Okay. In gymnosperms, if you see, sieve tubes and companion cells are absent. Rather, sieve tubes are replaced by what? Sieve cells, and companion cells are replaced by albuminous cells. Okay. Sieve tube cells are replaced by sieve cells, companion cells by albuminous cells. Look into this carefully, look into the locations properly, you can get a diagram based question. Okay. At the center here you can see sieve tube cells, they are enucleated. They are in close association with what? Companion cells. Okay. Sieve tubes and companion cells, after which you have phloem parenchyma, phloem fibers and then phloem parenchyma. Okay. Sieve tubes and companion cells are present or absent in gymnosperms? Sieve tubes are present in the form of?
Sieve cells.
Companion cells are in the form of? Sieve tube elements characteristic features are, they are long tube-like structures, they are arranged longitudinally, end walls are perforated, okay, with what? Sieve plates. At the end these walls are called as what, ma? Sieve plates. Fine. Mature cells will lack nucleus, but peripheral cytoplasm has a large vacuole. They have peripheral cytoplasm and a large vacuole. Their functions are regulated by companion cells. Fine. Because companion cells have nucleus, they will drive the function of what? Sieve tube cells. They are ontogenetically related and they are called as sister cells. Take down. Sieve tube cells and companion cells are ontogenetically related. They are called as sister cells. And then companion cells are living cells, specialized cells connected with sieve tubes via what? Pit fields. How they are connected? By pit fields on the common longitudinal walls. They contain nucleus and dense cytoplasm. They help in maintaining what? Pressure gradient in sieve tubes. They help in maintaining pressure gradient in sieve tubes. They control and support sieve tube functioning. Okay. Phloem fibers are also called as bast fibers. They are composed of sclerenchymatous or dead cells, and they are long unbranched cells with pointed and needle-like ends. Cell walls are thick and highly lignified cell walls are present. They are generally absent in phloem, primary phloem, but they are present in secondary phloem. They are used commercially in making what? Rope sacks. For example, jute, flax and hemp. These are the direct points to be remembered, ma. There is no other option. Then at last, phloem parenchyma. It is living and having tapering cylindrical cells, and then cell walls are made up of cellulose and they also have pits. They are connected by what? Plasmodesmatal connections to the adjacent cells for intercellular transport. And they store food material like starch, raisins, latex and mucilage. They are absent in most of the monocots. Clear? Now you see types of phloem. Types of phloem, we have two types again, same like how we have seen in xylem. Okay, we have protophlloem, which is primary phloem. And metaphlloem, which is mature phloem or secondary phloem. In primary phloem only you have two types. Okay, first formed is protophlloem, second formed or matured, you can say, ma. Matured. Xylem also, primary xylem, which is first formed is protoxylem, it gets matured to metaxylem. This also primary phloem, first formed primary phloem is protophlloem, it gets matured to metaphloem. Based on that, again you have the same structures, that exarch condition in roots and arc condition in stem. This is whole and soul concept from tissues. Fine. Tomorrow we will exercise tissue systems in comparative analysis with root, stem and leaf. Both of them we will do it together. Okay. Any doubts in today's class, ma? Clear, right? Yeah. That's all for today's session, beta. Thank you.